Hello friends, Living Fit with Laura. Daisy just loves rolling around in the snow. We have a lot of snow here in Parkdale, and it's April 1st. Each day, as we always do, we say, "This is the day my Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in the day. I will not live in want today. I will not criticize, curse, condemn, compare, or negatively compete. I realize people are different and have different viewpoints. I will not engage with individuals who are narcissistic, defensive, argumentative, who don't listen. I will love others generously, but I will not allow them to take away my peace." It's sad when many times we need to separate ourselves from individuals who steal our peace, but that's what we need to do. Just as Rosie loves rolling around in the snow, we are to enjoy our lives. We are to continue moving forward to those things that lie ahead, putting behind us those things that lie behind. We all need to live passionately, purposefully, in the present, and powerfully. We are not pitiful. We are not pathetic. We do not walk around with our head down, moping around. We realize that we cannot control the behavior of other people. We can only control our reaction. So I would like to encourage my friends, instead of becoming obsessed with how other people act or what they do or don't do, we'll recognize when it is wise, and it is really the only choice, but to step back and distance ourselves, because when we begin to lose our peace, when we are no longer at peace, and when another person's behavior is affecting our day-to-day, especially our sleep, and we find ourselves being what I describe as being gaslighted. I've talked about that. We must step away. We do not engage or participate in that behavior. We take a step back and we continue living our life to get and stay sane, stable, serene, and strong. When we are being gaslighted by another person, it is actually a very common behavior of people who are very self-absorbed and narcissistic, simply because they are unable to take any responsibility for how they affect other people. They are so self-absorbed and it is all about them that they're unable to do that. Narcissism truly is a mental illness, and we value our time, we value our sanity. We do not continue crossing oceans for people who will not jump over a puddle for us. Gaslighting can be very subtle, and as I've described to my friends for about a year, all last summer, a relative of mine was gaslighting me. I didn't realize it at the time. I was very, very confused at why she was choosing to stonewall, yet she was interacting and visiting and carrying on with my siblings. But when we are being gaslit, Daisy's digging for a mouse. When we are being gaslit, we will know, because we will feel confused, we'll feel off balance. Typically that person is very indirect, they're avoidant, they're passive aggressive, they're essentially messing with us. A narcissist controls the agenda and very often will behave in a passive aggressive manner, avoiding, stonewalling, and dismissing us, and leave us off balance. So that is why we must step away, because we want to stay sane, stable, serene, and strong. We must continue enjoying our lives as Daisy enjoys rolling around in the snow. We must continue moving forward. We can choose our friends, but we cannot choose our relatives. And we all have our quirks, we all have our flaws. I'm not speaking from a position of being perfect. I have many flaws myself. The key is, if it were me, and someone communicated to me that I did something to make them uncomfortable, I would pick up the phone and I would want to know. I'm very humble and teachable and able to take a hard look at myself and take inventory in how I affect other people's lives. If another person is avoidant or dismissive and then twists it around back on you, like you did something and you begin to feel like you're going crazy, then that is an indication that you're being gaslighted and that you need to take a step back. The reason I'm talking about this is because our culture is a very me-centered culture. Our culture encourages narcissistic behavior. It's all about me, the gospel of me. We are not doormats. Jesus was not a doormat. I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, but the key is, when Jesus was not received in a town, he did not stay there and grovel and try to figure people out. He did not waste his time. He shook the dust off his sandals and continued on to the next town. If we are finding ourselves in interactions that confuse us, and we are very direct in communicating and there's no communication, we are being gaslit. Any indication of passive-aggressive behavior and another person is controlling the agenda, it's all about them, we feel dismissed, we feel insignificant, we are not heard or respected, then it is time to step away. It is time to step away because we all have a purpose. We have a purpose in this life. We are to live with passion, powerfully, in the present, and we are to live passionately, powerfully in the present, and purposefully. Any situation or interaction in which we are so distracted and we are so off track that we are unable to be a gift to other people, especially if we have physical symptoms such as headaches, the inability to sleep, then we must step away. We are not being a blessing to that person who is gaslighting us, and we are trying to swim through oceans, cross oceans, for an individual who will not cross a puddle for us. The key to contentment, the key to happiness, is to be okay with stepping away from toxic relationships. We are okay with doing that. We want to respect our sanity. We want to respect ourselves enough to be able to do that. It is better to be alone. I'm very happy alone. I have a few quality friends that I trust, that I can count on one hand. But it is not necessary to seek the friendship of someone who gaslights us. We are better off being alone and being happy than being dragged into someone else's psychodrama. On this very, very beautiful day, we say to ourselves, this day is a gift. This is the day my Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in the day. And as far as it's up to us, we are at peace with all people. However, if it is no longer up to us, and that person has chosen to stonewall, avoid, ignore, not listen, then we need to take a step back. I want all of us to get our exercise, rain, snow, or shine. I'm wearing my snow boots. I'm wearing my snow gloves. I have a warm hat on. I have my wool scarf. There is no bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. So everyone get your exercise. Everyone have a wonderful day with me. I want all of us to be sane, stable, serene, and strong. That is why I talk about these things, about the very prevalent epidemic of narcissism in today's culture. Of course we forgive ourselves, but the key is we do not invest in a sinkhole. We do not invest of our time and energy into quicksand. We have a life to live. We live with purpose, passion, powerfully, and in the present to get and staying stable, serene, and strong. Have an awesome day with me, Living Fruit with Laura. I'm proud of you. Keep it up.